Okay, for disclaimer, this build can do run 10, just a bit slow pace, and you probably get one shot if you're not careful. You can play a run 10, you just need to play a lot safer. That's all. I hope you enjoy the gameplay. Every info on this video I will put it on description, including gear, attribute, and upgrade. I will pay on description if you want to check it. Also, if there any change to this game that will affect this build, I will update on either on description or on the comment section. Let me explain how this build works. By using the super staff, we scale a lot of mass mana, and by scaling a lot of mass mana, we get elemental damage, flat elemental damage. And by using Arcane Breach, we will get a lot of max mana temporarily based on how many enemy in the circle. This means a lot of flat damage for elemental damage. And for defensive, we will take mana protection. We will gain flat armor based on your max mana. And also by using this node, you will get flat elemental resistance based on your armor, which will scale based on max mana. And by taking this node, we also scale the flat resistance and flat armor by 80%. Let's talk about skill. We're taking Arcane Commander because there's a lot of really useful like this one, which is restore mana based on how many damage dealt from enemy. And while invest in crit chance, we will basically always silence the enemy because we have so many crit chance, so much crit chance. And this is not really useful, barely is ever seen, but it's just there. And this one really, no, I don't think it's affected much on the obliteration, but this really one useful. And this one I already talked about in how it's to work, and it's really important for this build. And this one really, so basically you have one default clone. By taking this you have two clone, which is more either more damage, right? But you can also take this, which is because based on critical strike damage, we also scale critical strike damage, so this one also useful. But I think this one a lot more useful. This one really useless, but there's nothing to tell you. I just take it. But you can unequip if you want. The damage or defensive. For damage, you take clone, which is 3 clone, and each one will deal obliteration. Will casting obliteration. While Arcane Pact is basically more defense, because all 25% damage will go to your mana rather than your life. For rate of obliteration, this one I already talked about, which is really useful. This is the reason why taking the skill. For the second one, will take slow because more defense, then the enemy will slower. But you can take this if one is based on missing mana. And for the third one, this is because the Arcane Breach will push the enemy into the center. To combine with this is very powerful, goes up to 100%. Actually, the enemy will in front of the clone because the clone will be in the center. By taking this, we don't have to stay in the center of that. We can just run around like the clone casting that. By taking this one, we have total 5 rare. The big one will focus on usually the elite, while the 4 one will hit anything in the side, right? So really useful to apply slow or chill. Arcane Breach. This one just gives me mana based on how many enemies in the circle. So really important. But if you don't want, you can take this. But this one really useful for more damage. This one a bit mixed, but it's too much to pass up because you have area increase size. The cons is you need to 2 seconds. So this thing will introduce a bit of delay in this build. This is they give attack speed. This thing overcap, so you will get just a lot of attack speed, which is more reduced cooldown. And by taking this node, because we put clone on the center of the Arcane Breach, there's always collide with those two. So basically you will get 100% increased damage basically, because it collide with rotation skill. So these two will be up to you. I take this because it really useful for a lot of things like catalyzer mod, enemy just way more defensive. And you basically way more chill playing this build. But if you want more damage, you can take this. Because we cast 2 clone, basically we get 2 obliteration beam emblem. By taking this, you will get 40% increased damage. Okay, let's talk about the attribute. Attribute. So the most important is this. You get resistance based on your armor. You can just take from until here. You don't need to take this back, but I take this because you can get 10% armor and max life. And the second one is this, which is crit chance. We have 10 crit chance. I feel like that's really free because I think 10 point only. And Zeal. This one basically just makes mana. You get 5% crit chance for Ancestral Strike, but I don't think that is really useful. You can remove this and put on Bravery for more magic fine, but you just get more strong fine and more speed. I don't think it's really worth it. because the spell not really fast. Willpower. Power, there's only two reason I take for, which is max mana. There's two here, and this one, which is area increase size, which is 15 area, 50% area increase size. The damage just flat, so we already have a lot from Reaper stuff, so you don't need to take this. I mean, technically you need 4 area size, but yeah, just for this 4. And for Bravery, 50% critical chance. And about Ancestral Legacy, you have 3 options, which is 2 defensive and 1 offensive. By taking this 4 knot, you can gain chill whenever you use skill. And because using Arcane Breach with AoE, every enemy in there will get chill, including elites. So basically from the elite to fast, you can see they coming, basically, and you can avoid them. You get resistance, is not really, and you get Ancestral Strike, which is probably increase more based on your max mana. So, but still not really think about this one. No, I'm not using this. You can use this one, but I'm not really keen of using it. Okay, how about offensive? Offensive, you will take this for none, because you can get Ultra Art as the same as chill, but this one you bring 1 to 12,000, probably more based on max mana. But and yeah, it's okay. But you get this fish dash, which is really useful. Just like this, which is really useful for moving around, because when this spell not really fast on moving speed. And Ancestral Strike, this is quite random. They get 1 or at 1 until 65,000 and more based on max mana, but it's so random, so it's not really like damage, but you can see the damage spike sometimes, especially on elite because of this. And the third option is defensive. You basically take this, you get shield glove and with the aura as well. By using this, you can get around 12,000 shield globe just from a breach. How many enemy there is? Even basically like secondary HP. You can get a second HP from this. It's still not save you from explosive, but it's for layer. If you get hit, this really twist. The shield globe will get hit first rather than HP. So yeah, very nice. But still, to me, now it's for other than chill, which is really nice to see the enemy slow down. Let's talk about gear. So basically, because they build based on max mana, try to get max mana, the damage, and max life. But if you can get, you try to get crit chance or crit damage. As you can see, this have crit damage, so crit chance and crit damage. But if you don't have crit chance, you can get max life, max mana, or multi damage. As you can see, there is 1 area increase size. You need 2 basically, so 2 area increase size to make it big enough. And as you can see, it's damage to elite. This one will, because magic stat, I don't know what to put, so I just put damage to elite, some more damage. And for epic stat, okay, the most important one I will say is mana leash and life leash. Yes, yeah, because the Arcane Breach deal a lot of damage and how many enemies, so you will get a lot of life leash based on that, and mana leash. Because of this, that you will never run out of mana. And basically for the next epic stat is crit chance and crit damage. Try to get, if you let's say like this one, right, get to damage, max mana, max life, and increase size. Epic stat, you get critical strike chance and critical damage. Critical strike damage, that's the most important. The third slot is up to you, pretty much. But and there's some you can put here. Basically, the next one is elemental penetration. you just need 4 to, as you can see, this one have 35 elemental penetration. This one because not the highest roll, but basically you can get 35% elemental penetration, and you can get 4. If you get 4, it will become 100%, 100%, almost 100% elemental penetration, which is really useful. For the higher rank is, the higher is elemental resistance multiplier. And the next one is damage to elite. The more higher rank is, the more the more HP is the elite for the 4 elite. So you probably you can get until around 21 million. So that's a lot. By using damage to elites, as you can see, 140%. But if I'm planning to get as many as I can, so it's usually around 180% in theory. And yeah, that's the required one, or more important one for your damage. If not, it will suck. Yeah. And if there is an empty slot, this build take shadow race, fire race, and ice race. So it doesn't get one shot from stepping into lava flow or get caught up in ice bomb. Oh, you actually step over shadow curse. Just enough for you to survive and the life leech or mana leech to kick in to regenerate you. But if you're confident to survive that, you can just put anything you want. There's 2 movement speed, yeah, it's kind of optional. You don't need to get that, but I feel I want to increase my movement speed, so at least it's fast enough. And there is armor here and there, so that's up to you to get rest or armor. But if you take rest, the armor not gonna benefit from that. But if you take armor, the rest will benefit from armor. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's for gear. Also for mastery and reaper level, basically just get level 55. And for mastery, I take everything I can reach. Just more damage, but you can get arbitration. So just for viewing, this one, so everything and not highlight, not green, is basically, yeah, I'm planning to remove it. Okay, so about ultimatum. So you have a lot of option, and it's based on what you have on your gear or not. If you don't have much speed, you can take this. It's really useful. Just because there's 2 here doesn't mean it's fast enough. That's around 3.2, so kind of the same and higher. But if you have more speed or you don't care, you can take gold as fine, which I'm currently using for farming more gold. But if you're more defensive, you can take every damage reduction. Or if you don't have damage to elites on your gear, you can take this. It's not much, but it's still useful sometimes. So because you already have here, you can take the gold is fine, or it's a try chance, which is not messed up. But I will probably take this if I have enough gold, because not many really useful. Example like this one is not useful basically because this tool just already for 2%. This spell, I think I already said before, it's not spammable. But if you having an issue of mana because you don't have mana leech, you can just use normal one. It's fine. It's not much different. You maybe lose a bit amount of damage, but it's okay. Okay, so my thought about this build. You can skip this session. I will put timestamp so you can just view any session, and also for the description for any required for this build. And also first I want to apologize for the long video. I believe it will be more than 20 minutes, but this will timestamp, so yeah, it's okay, you can just skip it. And also this is my first video, so maybe there some mistake here and there. So yeah, if you notice that, you can or can want to clarify that, you can ask on YouTube comment. So I can rectify that or just update the video or the comment basically. And so about this build. This build my first character first playing this game. So basically just really fun and really interesting way to play. The concept maybe not really original, on stacking, but I'm really having fun scaling that. And because of that, because this is my first character, I kinda want to have balance between clearing skill and single target. I believe I achieved that. So yeah, this is not efficient of course, but I really have fun. Maybe with legendary you can push a bit more higher, around 10 or something like that. But so far I'm really satisfied with this build. And really nice. So I hope you like the build, and thanks for watching.